Well, good morning, guys and gals. Pardon my back to you. This is the DIY/CNC woodworker here with you again. It's been a morning. What I'm doing is I'm trying to finish up these two plaques that I'm going to give away for my December giveaway at church. And I need to get something over here to do a little writing work with. Yeah. I carved this one a couple of weeks ago. This is a Christmas plaque that I've done before. You've seen it. It says Christmas down the middle, and it says that a child has been born for us, a son given to us, authority rest upon him, and he is named Jesus. I'm doing two of these. I did these last year. Looks like my camera's crooked. Let me straighten this up. Excuse me, folks. There, that's better. Jeez. Like I said, it's been a morning. But I'm going to give these away for Christmas this year, for December. I'm going to make two of them. This is, the other one's inside carving now. About the third attempt on it. That camera still don't look right. Well, folks, I don't know. I'm having a heck of a time this morning. Well, nothing. I guess that's okay. It's just me. The second one of these I tried carving, messed all up. And the more I worked with it, the worse it got. And kind of found out I had a mechanical problem with my router. I got some replacement parts that I needed, and I made some adjustments to the Z-axis, and hopefully I've got everything sorted out, and that what's carving in now will carve correctly. That's not the bit I want in there. All right, I'm going to pause the filming for a moment, and I'll be back soon. I'll change this bit out. All right, folks, I'm back. I've got the small OG in there, and I think I'll use it for this. I've got a larger OG than I normally use, but I think I'll use this one on this board. Yeah, it's putting a nice little small OG on there. That's strange. Guess I'll go to my large OG. For some reason it cut three sides fine, and it come along here and it did a step up here and a step down there. Well, what the heck's going on? Oh well, let me pause the video. I'll change that bit out. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Change that bit out. See what this is going to look like. That's better. That's a little ridge here from the other piece, but that looks all right, so I think I'll go with that. The horse flap out. Wife grabbed me a while ago, said come help her for a minute. I didn't know a minute was going to turn into an hour. Rearrange the bedroom, move the bed around, lift the mattresses up, put mattresses down, da-di-da-di-da-di-da. All right, that's done. And now I got to go over here and do some sanding. I got to move all this stuff. This is shelves and doors to the cabinet that I'm making for my wife that I've not finished yet. Probably won't finish for a few days. Alright folks, I got this carved. I got the other one in there carving. And I told you the story on it. Didn't think I'd ever get it carved. It's still carving. It hasn't finished yet, so I don't know if I'm done with it or not. But I'm going to go ahead and do some sanding on this. I'll pause the video for now. You see me sand, you don't need to watch me sand again. And I'm pooped. I'm wore out, so I'm going to sit down and rest a spell. So I'll be back with you in a little bit. Okay, I have all but finished my sanding on this. I've got my other plaque carving. I did what's called a two-stage carve on these. The first carving takes about 2 hours with the roughing bit. Then I come back with a detail bit on the second stage, and that's about a 4-hour carving. It just started, so there you go, waiting on that. I think I've got most of the sanding done. Well, I've got to come in here and work on these letters and bit with my screwdriver like I do to clean out all this little stuff. I think I'll do that off camera, folks, because it just bore you to death watching me do that. But I don't know the way I feel. I don't know if I'm going to get these done in time to give away next Tuesday or not. It's I've got a week, so we'll see. But I'm just tired, wore out. I don't know if there's something wrong with me or I'm just getting lazier as I get older or what, but I don't know. It's kind of discouraging to feel this way and not feel like doing anything. But that's life, folks. That's the way it is. Like I said, none of my stuff is scripted. It's what you see is what you get. All the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm really not talking about me. Not really. But, yeah, there's a lot of little fine detail stuff I got to do here. And I'm just not in the mood to do it today. So I'm going to stop this video here at this point. Again, I want to thank you for watching me. If you do watch me, I do appreciate it. If you're one of the several hundred people that I have that look at me on a regular basis, I thank you much. Again, I'm trying to get this done for a Christmas present, so I've got to get busy. But I think what I've done is all I'm going to do today because I just don't feel like doing any more. I'll talk to you again soon. Testing. Well, good morning, guys and gals. It's the next day. I'm getting all set up here to reroute the edges on this board, and the other carving completed, and it turned out rather nice. And I need to do the initial edge writing on it, and then I've got to come back and work on cleaning up this board. I think I got most of my problems worked out on my machine that I had. This board was carved while I was still experiencing some trouble. This board carved, if you put them side by side, I know you won't be able to see it on the video, but if you put them side by side, you'll see that this one carved much cleaner than this one did. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and try and clean this one out using my little screwdriver that I use to get in there and get all the little fibers and torn grain and stuff out. This one's going to require just maybe a light sanding. I might have a few fibers in there I need to go and clean up, but for the most part it looks real well. But I want to go ahead. You know, I had first routed this one with the small route, the small OG. Didn't like it, so changed to the big OG. That left a little lip here, and when I come along with my sanding, I end up sanding that little lip out. And I don't like the way this has come out, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and redo it. Excuse me while I hook up my jeez. Excuse me while I hook up my exhaust vacuum here. I'm not doing too well this morning. This is early for me, folks. I don't know about you folks, but it's not even, I don't think it's 8 a.m. yet. And for me to be up and about and out in the garage and working at 8 a.m. on a cool Texas morning is very unusual. And you might ask, well, why are you out so early? Well, when you lay awake all night and you don't sleep a wink, and nothing else to do once the wife wakes up and gets going, nothing else to do but come out here and go to work. So here I am. All right, get that turned on. Get this turned on and up to speed. Adjust that and see what happens. Did what I wanted it to do. Now let's do this one. I don't like it when it rips. It's like that, just tore a hunk out of it. It's oak sometimes, it just tore a hunk out of my wood. Made a mess. All right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to set up my saw over here, and I'm going to cut that little bit of an edge off of there and reroute it. That left a real nasty looking chunk taken out of my wood. So I'll take about 1/8 of an inch off of that thing, and And I'll go ahead and stop the filming while I do this. I'll come back when I'm done. Okay, I went ahead and cleaned that up off video, off camera. Mainly I didn't want you to hear me saying all these wordy dirds if it messed up again, but it seemed to work all right this time. I don't know why. It's either when that chips out like that, I think it's because I've run the grain the wrong way through the router. I think that's what's happening, but I don't know what's doing it until I do it. I guess I need to pay closer attention to it, but I went ahead and cut about 1/8 of an inch off this side, and I noticed, well, it had chunks on this side too, so I cut 1/8 of an inch off both sides and rerun it through my OG bit on the router, and it came out pretty nice. So there we are. Now I got 2 of these to finish sanding on. Again, you've seen me do sanding. There's no need for me to sit here and video me sanding and cleaning. I'm going to go ahead and clean these 2 boards up and sand them down, get them ready to go over here to spray polyurethane on them. This is the first really cool morning we've had down here in Southeast Texas, and for us it's a cool morning. I know you guys up north will laugh when I say it's in the low 50s, upper 40s. I had to get out my heavy shirt jacket, put something on my arms, but that's just the way it is down here. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and get these 2 boards cleaned up, ready for polyurethane, and we'll be back with you shortly. Okay, I've got that part of it completed. Now it's time to start with the polyurethane. I got everything sanded down, or sanded as well as it's going to get sanded. Like I said, I only carry this to a 120 grit, which is smooth to the touch. Everything's smooth to the touch, so that's what I go after. And 5 or 6 coats of polyurethane to seal the wood so I can paint it, which that'll take the rest of the day, probably part of tomorrow. And what I plan on doing when I say paint, I'm going to do a dual color on this. I'm going to paint Christmas down the middle and the little reef looking carving green, because I think green's a Christmas color. Green trees and all that makes sense to me. Hope you would agree with me. Get a good heavy coat of poly on this red oak, and boy, I tell you, it's still, I just can't get over every time I do this how it changes this red oak. And even with that, between different boards of red oak cuttings are different pieces. You would think if I took this all out of the same 6-foot piece of wood, they would all look the same, but they don't. It was just what surprised me. It seems like every feet or 2 it absorbs this poly in a different rate. Pardon my back here to you. I don't want to get this edge good, coated well. And a final spray here, these first couple of coats. Okay, and I'm going to let that sit a spell, let it dry, And we'll come back out and put 3 or 4 more good heavy coats on it. Again, all of this is just to seal the wood. Well, I'm sucking that up right there already. Seal this wood so that when I come back with my color coat, it doesn't run all in the grain. Spider web, as I call it. But when I come with my color coat, if I don't have this sealed real well, it'll just go all throughout the wood. Really look funny. Like I said, I call it spider webbing. I don't know what other people call it, but that's what I call it. Okay, that's it for now, folks. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video at this time. We'll let this set up and dry. I need to clean up out here a little bit and put some of these tools back away that I got out, because I'm through with all my carving, cutting, and grinding and all that stuff. And down to the final finishing stages, putting the poly and the paint on it. So we'll be back with you shortly. Well, hello guys and gals. It's the DIY/CNC woodworker here with you again. As you can see, I've got both my plaques completed yesterday. Well, yeah, yesterday. I finished them up, finished sanding them, put several coats of polyurethane on them, and set them to dry overnight. Now, they have dried. Now, what I'm doing today is I've got them all taped off. At least I'm going to paint this 2 colors. I'm going to paint green, and I'm going to paint the bulk of the letters black. I'm going to paint Christmas green. And these little whatever they are, filigrees here, whatever you want to call them, I'm going to paint those green. And then I'm going to paint the lettering that remains black. Let me get this over here. A little liquid refreshment there, but I want to tilt this up. This kind of works. That works good enough. All right, let's see what happens here. I've got compressor. I got air. I've got a little bowl, paint bowl thing. It's made just to hold this paint gun, but it's walked off like everything else does around here. What can I tell you? It's somewhere up there, but I couldn't find it, and I wasn't going to spend all day looking for it. So I'll just make do without it. Okay, there's a half a bowl full of green paint. I'll set that up here. And let's see what this is going to look like. I don't know what that's going to look like. It don't look like it's filling in very good down there. That'll be a slight shade of green anyway. Well, for some reason that green paint just ain't cutting it. Alright, on to plan 2. Spray it all black. I know the black works. Boy, I sure would have liked to use that green, but it's too light. Not enough opacity to it, or is that a word, opacity? Opaque? Not opaque enough. It's just making a mess as far as I can tell. So let's try and get the green paint out of here and off of here. That's a shame. Oh, if the camera will pick that up or not, but it's like not getting down inside the carving or inside the letters, just partially. It's not covering fully like I want it to cover. So much for the green. Now I gotta clean this gun out. All right, I'm gonna pause the video for now. Be back with you shortly. I wanted to paint that green, but that green just, I don't know, it just didn't cover right. So that's still kind of damp. I'm gonna just go ahead and spray this black over it and hope that it comes out okay. If it don't, I'll have to get my sander out and start all over. Which I don't want to do that because I'm running out of time to get these plaques finished. Boy, oh boy. All right, here we go. Black paint. All right, what's my black paint? Now what's going on? Okay. What the hey, what the hey? That's my Indian, guys. I'm not getting any paint out of that nozzle at all. All right. Back to square one. Oh, I'll kill this video and I'll be back with you when I figure this gun all apart. Cleaned it up. At least I think I cleaned it up. I'm gonna put some fresh paint. I went and thinned. I think part of my problem with this paint was really super thick. It wasn't that way the last time I used it, so I put a little amount of thinner in here. And let's see what it looks like. Don't need to put a whole lot in there. That still looks a little thick, but let's see what happens here. Okay, now we're spraying. Well, I guess we're spraying. That little bit done gone. Well, that black's gonna cover it for sure. Oh, why that green didn't work. I wished it had I'd like to have that color in here. Guess it's gonna be all black, folks. The next one I can do, I can take all that taping off that I did because it's not gonna be two-tone. I'm gonna just spray the whole thing black. Oh well. Live and learn, they say. I learn and live. I'm not quite sure which one it is. Okay, that's all coated. No, it's not all coated. I got some up here that needs to be. All right. Boy. Leave it to me to mess it up, folks. I tell you what. And I'm getting paint all over me. This is good paint. It'll be here for a while. Jeez. Okay, well, all this nice tape job I did, I can just take it off because I'm not going to need it. I tell you, sometimes things just don't work right. I don't know if it's me or if it's just because sometimes things just don't work right. I don't know if any of you guys ever had that kind of problem. I seem to have them with regular occurrences. Alright, this tape stuck to itself and it's tough. There it goes. This is some tough old tape, I tell you. When it's down, it's down. This is the first roll of this I had when I needed masking tape. I went to get some, and this is all they had, this plastic-like tape. So I went ahead and bought it. Never having used it before, I just assumed, well, it was a different color. A different color tape. The other wasn't quite this deep a blue, but it's a whole different tape. And it's tough. Once it's down, it's down. And you get it off, it comes off. But boy, Heidi, makes you work for it. Alrighty, folks. Jeez. I'm going to spray this all black. You know, let me stop the video. I still should have left those side tapes on there because I don't want to get these corners black. Boy, I tell you. What a day. What a day. Be back in a moment. Bear with me here. Bear with me. I got tape back on the thing after I ripped it off. Not thinking I needed to keep my edges taped. I'm just thinking get the tape off. So, we're going to spray and see what happens. At least I know the black will cover it. I've used the black before on other plaques. It doesn't look bad, but I wanted to get the green in there because it says Christmas on it. But that's just me being sentimental, I guess. But we'll get this done, let it dry overnight, come back tomorrow, sand it all off, and the black will be down in the letters as usual. Then come back with a couple of top coats of polyurethane, and that's what we'll be giving away. I mean, yeah, I won't look bad with the black. I just wanted to use that green and couldn't do it because it wasn't opaque enough. Let's see that I got everything. Let me pull this thing out and look at it. Pardon me while I pull my drawers up. My pants up, I should say. I'm still missing that little corner. Alright, so a little bit more black. Get in here. I think that got it. I hope that got it. Yeah, okay. That got it. So, next step is just let this sit here and dry overnight. And I got to sit here and clean my gun and clean me and get all this black paint off everything that I can. See now how I managed to get it everywhere. Seem to do that a lot. But okay, that's it, guys, for this. I'm going to call this a done. You can't even see me, can you? Of course, that's not any great distraction. Okay, now for a great distraction. Hello. All right, I'm going to call this done, folks, this clip. Well, no, I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this clip and the other clips from previous days and do my finish sanding and finish polyurethane coating and all that tomorrow and the next day. Add that to this clip, so it'll be a start to finish. I won't have to run another separate video showing the finished product. So that's it for now. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Hope you have a nice day. Good day. Okay, folks. As I said, I've got to come back and paint these letters on this board that I left covered with tape when I sprayed everything. I didn't give that a lot of thought when I was doing it, and I'm making a freaking mess. But hey, what's new? It's me. But I've already done part of it, as you can see here. I'm just not really doing anything other than kind of just slopping this paint down in here, just making sure I get it down into the letters and on the sides of the letters with this real inexpensive cheapo brush that I've got. I bought a bunch of these just for something like this. This is the first time I've used them for this, but it'll do the trick. It'll get the paint down into the letters. That's what I'm wanting to do. And I'll let this dry while I'm doing it now. It's kind of late in the evening, but it's 7 o'clock or so. I'm usually finished up out here long before now, before dark. That's why I've got the door down and the garage lights on, so I can see and you can see me. But we will get this finished here in a little bit. And with the other board over there, I will let this dry overnight. Then we will come back tomorrow and sand off all this excess paint, which was the plan anyway, the sanding part. And I'm sure this will come out looking all right. It looks like the dickens now, but it won't remain that way. Had to go out and do a little shopping, go by the library and make a library run for the wife. While we're out, we stopped and had dinner, so we wouldn't have to come back home and cook something. Come on, get down in there. Like I said, I'm really just slopping this paint down in here. I'm not trying to be any kind of careful with it or anything, just making sure that I get it down into the letters and get good coverage on them. All the rest of it will sand off. Then we'll let this dry overnight to get good and cured. I'll tell you what, these brushes are about useless. I bought a bag of them, about, I don't know, 10, 20 in a bag, and it wouldn't be worth anything if you was trying to do something with a brush that required a good brush. But for something like this, they'll work just fine. When I get done with this brush, I won't even think about cleaning it. I'll just throw it in the garbage can along with the rest of the garbage. That's about all it's going to be when I'm done. It doesn't make any sense to even try to save it. It's that poor of a brush, folks, let me tell you. It's good for smearing paint, and that's about it. Now the last two lines. bear with me, folks. This boredom will be done in a moment. I'll show you the end result. Okay, looks like I've got everything. I think, anyway. Paint. All right. Wrap this up in this tape here. And throw it all in the trash. Alrighty, there we are, the end result, folks. Isn't that pretty? There you go. But like I said, we'll let this set overnight, let it dry, come out tomorrow, do my sanding thing on it. Once it's all sanded, I'll reapply a couple of coats of polyurethane and let them sit overnight to cure, and they'll be ready to deliver on Tuesday. So looks like we're going to make it. Alrighty, thank you much. Thank you for watching. I will leave this I'll leave this video clip up until tomorrow when I show you the finished results. So talk to you again then. Good day. Good afternoon, guys and gals. DIY/CNC woodworker back with you. I left these plaques to cure overnight. Aren't those pretty? And this one here, now the job is sanding. Seems like that's all I'm ever doing is sanding, but to get it done right, it's got to be sanded. Of course, as you know, you've seen me sand many times before. So I'm not going to sit here and video all of this sanding that I got to do. But what I will do is once I've got these two plaques sanded down and ready for polyurethane, I will come back and show you that process. I'm putting the polyurethane on and let you watch with me the transformation that takes place when this polyurethane is red oak get together. It's really amazing what it does. So, that being said, I'm going to stop the video at this time and come back here with you shortly. Okay guys, there are the two plaques sanded, and now it is time to put on the final coats of polyurethane, and you'll see the magic happen with me here. At least that's the way I refer to it. It's just amazing how this wood changes. A little bit of polyurethane slapped on it, and it just let me double check, make sure everything is ready to roll here. All right, here we go. You can see that polyurethane hits that red oak and it just blossoms. I really like the way that turns out. And the contrast between the red oak and the black paint really makes these plaques very vivid. And they just, time this cures and dries up, it'll really look good. And you can read these things from down the hall, across the room, you name it. But these two again will be given away at our Christmas senior citizens. Not that I'm a senior citizen, but young at heart they call themselves, or we call ourselves. Monthly meeting. I've been giving away plaques now for the last, oh, I don't know, 3 years, 2.5, 3 years. And folks really seem to enjoy it. At least so I've been told. After all, each one of these is a one-off pretty much. And if you have one, you got something no one else has. If that's of any importance to you. Oh man, I'm gonna have to let that dry and do some more sanding on there. I looked and looked and looked, and there's some spots that need additional sanding. Well, there you go. The more you try, the more you gotta try. But that's it for now, folks. I'll tilt this one up, as you can see. Looks pretty nice. Right in here, and a little bit up here. It needs to be resanded. This one looks okay. I can't find any problems with it. But that's it for now. Once these are all cured and everything, I need to flip them over and seal the back side, which I've not done yet. So I usually have that done by now. It's just an oversight on my part, but there you go. Christmas. A child has been born for us, a son given to us. Authority rests upon him, and he is named Jesus. Lovely plaque. Second year I made these. I made these last year, but I did not paint. I started painting my plaques just, I say recently, in the last 6-7 months. So I really wish that green had to come out better, but it didn't. So it's black. There you are, folks. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And if you like my work, tell your friends about it. Let them watch it. Enjoy it too. And if I don't get a chance between now and then, let me wish you all a very Merry Christmas.